Hi friends, a few all India students, that is students belonging to states other than Tamil Nadu, they requested me to do a video in English regarding the current affairs preparation for the UPSC Civil Services examination or the IAS examination as it is popularly called. Right now, most students preparing for IAS examination, almost 95% I can say, they are spending lots of time, hours each day, studying for the so called current affairs, especially from the internet. Many serious candidates, many capable candidates, they are not able to clear the examination, either prelims or mains, mainly due to their preoccupation and the addiction with this so called current affairs. In fact, current affairs, this term, has become a fancy term over the past few years, and it has become an abused word also. Whenever you open the internet, current affairs has become synonymous with the IAS examination itself. So in this video I am going to demystify the myths, rumors, the disinformation regarding the current affairs preparation for the IAS examination. First of all, current affairs, what do you understand by this? How many of you have taken the UPSC notification and read it properly? If you have done this, you can easily identify that current affairs is just a minor part of the syllabus. It is not a separate subject. Current affairs itself is nothing but one has to follow and keep track of various events and happenings within India and around the world regarding the core subjects within the syllabus. Core subjects like history, geography, science, polity, international relations, social issues, environment, and so on. Regarding these core subjects, you have to follow the recent events. Okay, so this is called current affairs. But many people, they are wasting hours daily. Okay, and in this process they are not studying, they are not focusing on the core subjects, and they are failing in the examination. Approximately one should not study, one should not put more than 15% effort and time for studying current affairs. Okay, so this is just a part of the syllabus, it is not a separate subject. Please keep this in mind. Secondly, the big mistake that most students do is that when they study current affairs, they will just mechanically memorize facts and figures. This is completely wrong. Current affairs is not mechanically memorizing facts, figures, numbers, statistics, and so on. Even under current affairs, you have to obtain the knowledge. Study the concept. Understand the concept. On top of the concept, memorize the facts and figures, associated facts and figures. So, you have to do this. For example, let's say you are studying about a government scheme. For example, PM Kisan scheme for agriculture. Don't just memorize all the associated facts and figures. When it was launched, who launched, which minister launched, whether it was agriculture minister or the prime minister or somebody else, right? What was allocation for this scheme? These are all secondary. First of all, you should know what is the scheme for, what is the objective of the scheme, what is the mission of the scheme, what is the mode of transfer of subsidy within the scheme, how it will empower the farmers, right? Whether it is a form of direct benefit transfer or something else. This is how you should study. So current affairs itself has to be studied from a knowledge point of view, from a conceptual point of view. If you understand this, automatically facts and figures will go and sit in your mind. You need not memorize anything mechanically. Okay, get it? Next thing, when you study current affairs, you have to obtain the knowledge and the associated facts and figures and correlate it and link it with the concepts that you study within the core subjects like geography, science, environment, polity, and so on. So you should study in an integrated manner. For example, if you are studying from the newspaper, Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA. So this is the dynamic part of the syllabus, okay? The recent happenings, events. So under CAA, you find out what is happening. So they are doing some amendments within the Citizenship Act that is already in existence in India in our laws. So this you'll be studying separately under Lakshmikant book, under the chapter citizenship. So citizenship chapter under Lakshmikant book comes under the core part of the syllabus. Okay, that is a conceptual part of the syllabus. Get it? So under the main conceptual core from the book, You are studying about India citizenship. India offers single citizenship. Already we have an act in India called the Indian Citizenship Act 1955. The CAA is nothing but an amendment of the 1955 Citizenship Act. Simple as that. So this is how you have to correlate and study. Then you find out about the nuances, details within the CAA Act. Okay, what are the implications? Positive implication, negative implication. This is how you should study, right? So current affairs should be studied in an integrated manner from a knowledge point of view, right? Next thing, many students, they will often ask me, how many months I should study? Once again, this is a completely wrong question. Current affairs, UPSC, for both prelims and mains, they will focus approximately on the events and happenings over the last 12 to 15 months, approximately telling. Some events and happenings, they could be even retrospective also. Some event that was relevant 5 years or even 8 years back, it could be asked because it would have become relevant again. Okay, so don't calculate in a mechanical manner. An IAS aspirant, when he starts the preparation for IAS examination, if he has studied newspaper daily and taken notes for 10 months till the prelims examination, this is more than enough. Whatever is left out from the newspaper, you can bridge it by studying and following any one monthly magazine, any standard magazine, that is good. So you can follow that. So apart from newspaper and a standard monthly magazine, you need not study anything additionally. If you do this, in this 10-month time span, you will be studying all the events and happenings that are relevant for the examination. Now you might ask me, what if the question is regarding an event that happened 15 months before? Please understand, an event that has happened even before once again will come in the news in the span of this 10 months. So you need not worry. So approximately if you study current affairs daily for 10 months, automatically you will be very strong. And this knowledge is more than enough for both prelims as well as mains. Get it? Right? After prelims, the period from prelims to mains, you have to reduce the focus on the current affairs, because if you have studied continuously for 10 months till prelims, already you will be having heavy knowledge. So this current affairs is more than enough for the mains examination. Okay, get it? Once again, any event which was retrospective, even 5 to 8 years back, let's say, once again, in case if it becomes relevant, once again this news will also come in the span of 10 months. So don't worry, don't calculate month wise. For around 10 months, you have to study the current affairs from newspaper and any one monthly magazine regularly. Okay, this is more than enough for the examination, both prelims and mains combined. Before the prelims, you can selectively browse through some important facts from the internet. Okay, so that we can do later, I'll explain later. So please keep this in mind, don't calculate month wise, right? Next thing, many students often they will say, when they write mains examination, they will say, sir, current affairs I have not studied much. I will reply, please don't study. It is a blessing in disguise. Go and write, you will get good marks. The reason is, if you have studied for 10 months, it is more than enough for mains examination. Okay, don't dump yourself with facts and figures in this period between prelims and mains. Please remember, questions in mains examination will be current affairs based, but you have to reproduce the knowledge only. In the answer, you have to write the concept. Based on knowledge, you are going to analyze on various dimensions and give your view solution. This is what you are going to do. You are not going to dump facts and figures. So please remember, mains examination question will be current affair based, but you are going to reproduce the knowledge only. Okay, let's take international relations for example. Okay, let's say the deal between the Arab countries like UAE, Morocco, Sudan with Israel in the recent past, or the past few months. Let's say a question is asked in the mains examination under international relation regarding the friendship deal between Arab states and Israel. Now, which Arab state signed this deal with Israel, which date, where it was signed, what are the important points within the deal? Not important. Don't dump facts and figures. Here the question is current affairs based, but within international relation you have to reproduce the knowledge. Why they have signed the deal? What is the significance? For many decades, Arab states and Israel are enemies, mainly over the issue of Palestine. Now, slowly they are coming closer. We are able to see friendship instead of enmity. So, this is a new chapter in the relationship in West Asia. Okay? This has an implication for the external powers like Russia, America, Britain, and so on, who are trying to play power politics in West Asia. So, in the answer, you are going to reproduce the knowledge, reproduce the concept, and not just dump the facts and figures. Get it? So, this is how you have to apply current affairs in the mains also. Please don't study much current affairs for the mains examination. It will prove detrimental, I'll tell you. Right? Get it? Next thing, prelims examination. Many students, once again, they will tell, current affairs, I have not studied much, sir. Core subjects I have studied well. Once again, I will tell them, don't worry, you will pass the examination. The reason is, nobody, no boy or girl will fail in the prelims just because he or she is weak in current affairs. One will fail in the prelims examination only if he or she has not studied the core subjects properly, not revised the core subjects properly. Otherwise, nobody will fail in the prelims just because he or she is not very strong in current affairs. One may fail in prelims in case they have not at all touched current affairs. Otherwise, nobody will fail just because they are not strong in current affairs. I can assure that. I can guarantee that. I can even give this in writing. So please keep this in mind. Current affairs is just a part of the syllabus. You have to apply the current affairs in the examination, right? Prelims examination, it will be more fact-based in nature, okay? But the current affairs questions in mains, questions will be based on recent happenings and events, but you have to reproduce the knowledge. So this is how you have to differentiate between prelims and mains and apply the recent events and happenings and the knowledge underlying the same. Okay. Last thing, how to prepare current affairs for IAS examination. This is very, very simple. So my approach, the approach that I suggest for students is very, very simple. 10 months approximately before the IAS prelims, start preparation. Daily choose any one newspaper. If Hindu is difficult, take a simple newspaper like Indian Express or other newspaper. Study the newspaper, take notes. Don't study everything in the newspaper. Only whatever it is relevant for the syllabus, take notes from newspaper. If editorial is difficult, leave it. Even within the editorials, whatever is relevant, whatever point is relevant for the syllabus, you have to take that point. You have to develop your understanding and analytical knowledge based on the discussions in the editorial. Otherwise, your duty is not to master the newspaper or the editorial. Don't do this mistake. Many students are doing this mistake. Okay? And if Hindu newspaper is difficult, please keep it aside. Right? It is not written in the Indian constitution that one should study Hindu newspaper compulsorily for the IAS examination. If not Hindu, some other newspaper, but definitely study newspaper daily, take notes. Taking notes is must. Right? So daily you should do this. Apart from that, any one monthly magazine, any one good standard magazine, I would not suggest any magazine. You yourself go to the bookshop, go through the magazine. Whatever magazine is comprehensive nature and easy to understand without much advertisement, buy that magazine. Any one magazine, follow each month. So these two are the main sources. Hindu newspaper or any other newspaper. Secondly, any one monthly magazine. Okay. If you have time, you can do certain things additionally. You can occasionally study the economic newspapers like Economic Times, Hindu Business Line, and so on. Right. Apart from this, just before the prelims examination, you can selectively study certain things from the internet. These things I will later explain to you. As of now, don't worry about this. So two sources, newspaper and monthly magazine. Okay. The notes that you take from newspaper and the monthly magazine is the most precious resource for IAS aspirant. Take the notes, buy lots of books. Okay. So please don't economize in buying books. Okay. We are spending lakhs of rupees on many things. So please buy some notebooks. Take notes. Right. With your own understanding, in your own writing style, you take notes. Maintain the notes. Revise the notes once in a while. This is the most precious resource for IAS aspirant. If you study newspaper regularly, around 40% of the questions in the mains examination can be handled with this knowledge alone. Apart from GS, you can handle essay also better. Okay, so this is a very precious resource. Take notes. Notes taking is must. If you just look orally or visually, it will not be helpful. Please take notes. The notes taking will also serve as a valuable answer writing practice for the mains examination. It will also serve as a cognitive exercise. You can apprise whether you are studying in the right manner or not. So please do this. Lastly, some students, they asked me whether I should study these magazines like Yojana and so on. If you follow my advice, if you follow these sources, you will just have enough time to complete the syllabus. In fact, you won't have much time. This is more than enough. In case if you have additional time, you can study these magazines. Otherwise, these magazines are not compulsory. So the articles written in Yojana and other government magazines, these are like editorials written in the newspaper. They will take a case study and they will explain in detail. That's all. For example, in some state in India, if any scheme is very successful, they would have analyzed in the magazine. That's all. Once again, here, don't memorize the fact. Don't waste the time. If you memorize the fact, write about the state and the scheme and the success in the IAS examination, they won't give you mark. Obtain the concept from the magazines. Okay, from magazines like Yojana. Once again, here, only if you have time, you do this. Apart from the newspaper notes, the monthly magazine notes, if you have time, go and take Yojana. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. Don't waste time studying these magazines. Okay. And last thing, please don't use the internet. Study from newspaper and monthly magazine. Use the internet only for specific references. If you want to know about a specific organization or a scheme, if you want specific reference, go to the internet. Otherwise, don't use the internet. I'm telling you, don't use the internet. Don't study from any third-party websites. You can use them only for specific reference. Many students, they will tell me, I took the newspaper, I can't understand the background. You will not understand background. You cannot understand the background. Even the most intellectual man in the world cannot understand the background initially starting reading the newspaper. Initially, if you take on a news, whatever is given in the news, study that alone. That is enough for the day. The same topic will come again. Then you will develop your knowledge slowly. Then the same news will come repeatedly. You can enrich your knowledge. You will be very well versed with that subject, okay, or that issue or that area. This is how you have to develop the knowledge. Many students, what they will do, they will take the newspaper. In the pursuit of studying the background, they will Google. They will go into website. They will study unnecessary facts and figures. They will lose out on the knowledge. They will waste the time. Their mind will get dumped with lots of facts and figures. They will lose the ability to analyze and think in an intellectual manner. So completely they will get diverted. Never do this drilling process. Don't take the newspaper and immediately go to the internet and search things, right? Let's say a news is about defense. Let's say India is launching a missile. Find out what is the name of a missile, what is the mission of the missile, what is the nature of the missile. That's all. Leave it. Live for the day. That is more than enough for the IAS examination. Don't go and search in the internet. Separately, under science and technology, you will study about missile. What is missile? What are the types of missile, cruise missile, ICBM and so on. You will be studying separately under the core part of the syllabus under science. In the name of finding the background, don't go and drill in the internet. You will waste your time, energy. You will get into stress, anxiety and depression. Your knowledge will get destroyed. Lots of facts and figures will get dumped into your mind. Your brain will get locked. Never do this mistake, okay? So whatever you are finding in the news for the day, note it down. That's all. So obtain knowledge. Later you will automatically correlate when you study the respective books. Okay, this is how you should proliferate the knowledge. Get it? Regarding editorial, first 2 months, don't go into the editorial. You won't understand because you won't be having adequate knowledge. Wait. After 2 months, go into the editorial. Slowly you will understand. There is no need to master all the editorials. If editorial is very complex, leave it. Your duty is not to master the editorial. Your duty is to become IAS officer. That's all. Right? Whatever is relevant in the editorial for the syllabus, take those points alone. Develop your analytical thinking. So this is how you have to use editorial. In case editorial is difficult, throw it off. But study newspaper. Rest of the newspaper you have to study. Okay. So this is how you have to study current affairs for the IAS examination. Once again, let me just summarize. Current affairs itself is knowledge. You have to correlate this with the core part of the syllabus, with the core subjects. You have to proliferate your knowledge, develop your analytical thinking, arrive at various solutions in a knowledgeable manner, right? Keep current affairs in a limited manner. Don't spend lots of hours. At the max, don't spend more than 1 to 1.5 hours each day and not more than that. Rest of the time should be used for studying core subjects. This only will help you clear the examination, right? I hope this video has been helpful to you. I wish you all the best. Thank you.